Okay, so today the topic that we need to understand in forest engineering is chain survey procedure. Just continuation of the chain survey topic. When the topic is, so we need to discuss this procedure, how the chain survey can be conducted on the field itself, right? So first we need to know what is chain surveying. A brief introduction. We all have understand that. So it is the simplest method, right? Simplest method, and the linear measurement has to be taken. Is it clear? As it is, as you use the tape, similarly you can use the chain, but chain has certain specification, certain technical specification it has, so we have to use that technical part here, and then we can use it. So it is the simplest method, right? And only the linear measurement, no angular measurement you are supposed to take there. It means linear measurement, if you have a 2 point, so a straight line can be drawn there, and we can measure the length of this line. That is linear measurement. No angle, nothing can be measured in chain surveying, right? So applicability, where we can use the chain survey, this is the question, right? Because chain survey cannot be used for all cases, right? We can't take the angular measurement, or if there is any circular part, we can't use it. So this is a certain conditions that need to be understood to follow the chain survey. First, area should be fairly small. It means if the area is too large, we can't use chain survey here, right? Then the ground is moderately labeled. Labeling is required. It means ground should be, you should look, the ground should be like a plane, right? There is no too much undulation there, right? Totally labeled, or the plane surface I am talking about. And then area needs to be open. Obviously you have to have a less obstacle there, and the ground has few and simple details. So these 4 conditions need to be fulfilled while you have to start the chain survey, or while using or conducting the chain survey process or the procedure here. So these 4 things that you have to, again I am repeating: small, properly labeled, area should be open, few and simple details, right? So if you'll get this kind of condition on any area, you can conduct the chain survey here, right? Now where you can't use the chain survey, so crowded with many details, if the details are too much details are there, or a congested area, you can't do that. Too many undulation, as I say you in the previous slide, we need a label surface rather than undulation. So if undulation is there, again it is very difficult to use the chain survey. Area should be small, not very large. If it is large, again chain survey is not suitable. And you have to form the well conditioned triangle, right? Since we have to make the well conditioned triangle while conducting the chain survey. But if it is very difficult for a surveyor to form a well conditioned triangle, if it is very difficult, right, because of lots of obstacles, then we can't conduct the chain survey there. So these 2 things that one need to keep in mind while conducting the chain survey: where we can use it, where you can't use it. Is it clear? And well conditioned triangle, I have already explained you what is this. Well conditioned triangle means angle should be more than 30 degree and less than 120 degree. If, right, if you are forming any triangle, so the angle of the triangle should be more than 30 degree and less than 120 degree, then it is a well conditioned triangle. If it is less than 30 or more than 120, that is not well conditioned triangle. So if area is large and area has so many details, right, so that details again become one kind of obstacle, and it is very difficult to form a well conditioned triangle. So we can't conduct the chain surveying those kind of area. So have you get that? All of you understand where you can use it, where you can't use it, the chain survey?
Yes, sir, it's clear.
Right. Now the chain survey tools, I have already explained you all the necessary equipment we required for that in chain surveying. This is the chain, tape, ranging rod, arrows, cross staff and pegs, right? I have already explained you what kind of instrument it is, so you are already familiar with this, isn't it? So ranging rod, right, why we are using the ranging rod? To put the intermediate station or intermediate points. If the area that need to be surveyed and the length of the area is more than the chain length, right, then we can use the ranging rod. We have a measuring tape, you can use it, and this is chain, right? You are familiar, I have already explained to all of you. Then wooden pegs to mark the point or the station. Arrows is required if you are using the chain survey. then this cross staff, right, to draw the offset, isn't it? So these are the basic instrument that is mandatory or the required for conducting the chain survey on the field, right? Now the chain survey station, if when you're going to start the chain survey, obviously first you draw the two stations, main stations and subsidiary station, or the tie station, that you know that, and you all know what is the main station. So main station basically are the end of the lines, isn't it? When you have to suppose to boundary the, when you are starting any kind of survey, right? So there is some end of the lines that is going to determine the boundary of the surveying, that is main station, isn't it? A station could be represented by triangle, we all know that. So these are the end of the lines, isn't it? Here we can draw a boundary. For example, this area need to be surveyed, so boundary has been there, right? So these stations or the main stations are end of the lines. The line is started from here to here, so this is end of the line from both the side. Have you get that? So main stations has to be drawn. Then we have to make these tie stations. Tie stations, you all know that. Why you are making tie station, right? When you have to identify the interior details, right? In this area we have some internal details. For example, I am just making one baseline, then this could be the tie stations, right, here, and this is tie lines. And if any feature is there, we can locate this feature by reference of this tie line, and for that we have to draw the tie station here, isn't it? So whenever we have to do this chain survey, we have to draw these two station, main station and tie or subsidiary stations, right? And there is something that also we need to understand, what the factor that is going to affect the survey station selection. See, obviously since you have to draw the main and tie stations, so when you have selecting those station points, there are certain conditions that one need to be keep in mind. So what the condition? The station should be visible from at least 2 or more point. That is important, that station should be visible from at least 2 or more point. It means, for example, if this is the station I am making, for example, let me make you this point, station. So if this is boundary has been at least 2 more, right? So station should be visible from at least 2 or more. It means this point may be visible from this or this point or this point, or if not stations, so at least from these 2 points also there, right? So stations should be visible from at least 2 or more stations, that is important. And if you will specify properly chain survey, so station has to be there, 2 or more station. It means this point should be visible from this or this station. Similarly, this station should be visible from this and this station, right, and so on. And as far as possible, main line should be run on the level ground, as I told you. Generally when you conduct the survey, basically chain survey, so the ground should be well labeled, right? No undulation will be there, or the minimum undulation is required. So whenever you are making this main line by drawing by locating the main station, the main line should be on the level ground, isn't it? And then all triangle should be defined properly. It means, as I explained to, no angle less than 30 degree, and each triangle should have at least one check line. So first, I have understand all these 4 points. I have already explained to you in earlier classes also there. Whenever you are selecting a survey station, you have to keep these 4 points in mind, and there are some more points that also need to be understand here. Here survey lines should be as few as possible. Obviously you have to make minimum, and obstacles to ranging and chaining should be avoided. This is important, right? Obstacles to ranging and chaining, it means at least select those area where there is less obstacles, so that so that you are not supposed to make any arrangement to avoid those obstacles, or ranging. You also about to ranging, right? Ranging means the length of the line that you have selected should not be more than the chain that you are using, or the chain length that you are using. This should be avoided. It's not mandatory condition, but it is avoided if possible. And the side of the larger area should pass as close to the boundary lines as possible, and this is important, trespassing and frequent crossing on the road should be avoided. It means you need less and less disturbance while conducting the chain survey on the field, right? So these are the some factors that one should keep in mind while conducting chain survey in the field, right? Then these are the lines that you have to draw on the paper, or you have to draw on the field for smooth conduction of chain survey. That is baseline, chain line, tie line, and check line, isn't it? All the lines I have explained, but let me again brush up with this concept. This is the image. You are able to see that baseline. As you know, that baseline means main and longest line from which all measurement has to taken, isn't it? And this baseline should pass through the center of the field. So this is the baseline you are supposed to see here. Then obviously this chain line, you already know that the another line that have chain line, the line that you can look at here, the chain line, you know that the line that is supposed to join the main station as termed as a chain line or main survey line, right? Isn't it? And then you have some other line, tie and check line. So what is tie line? You just look at here. So tie line, so first we have to select the tie stations. And why you are using the tie stations? And then we are making a line to join the tie stations, that is tie line, and the purpose is to locate the interior details and also to check the accuracy of chain surveying. And finally you have a check line, that you are able to say that we have a check line also there, right? So check line is just to check the accuracy of the framework, and all these lines I have already explained in detail, so I hope no problem with all of you. So while conducting the chain survey, these lines has to be drawn. First two station, main station and subsidiary tie station, then this line type will be there on the field. I hope up to this point that the concept is clear to all of you.
Yes, sir, it's clear.
So now we know the offset. We all know what is offset. So basically used to location of various objects with respect to the baseline. So let me show. This is the offset. You know that there's two kind of offset, the perpendicular and oblique. It means this offset is basically for the lateral measurement. It means we are just calculating the distance of the feature. What is the feature available on the ground from the main baseline, isn't it? So if it is on the 90 degree, that is perpendicular, but if it is not 90 degree because of some obstacle, so that is oblique offset, right? So these two kind of offset. And when you talk about the offset, so generally or the commonly offsets are established at right angle, as we all know that. Is it clear? अभी पता है आप लोगों को, right? Then chain survey procedures. What are the basic procedures chain survey has? So these are the simple procedures that one need to. First you have to inspect the area to be surveyed and prepare key plan. It means you have to visit that area, just take a general view and prepare the plan. So this is called reconnaissance phase. It means you are just taking the general view and all these general things that has been there, you are noting down everything there itself. ठीक है? And then mark station using suitable means, as you know that how to mark the station, by using the ranging poles or driving pegs, digging and fixed by any means. Suppose you don't have all these instrument with you, right? So at least make certain alternate arrangement. For example, digging, you can do that. You can fix a stone also there to mark the station, right? And then especially for passing the main line, we should go through the center of the field. Obviously then you have to draw the base line or the main line, we should pass through the center of the field. So first general general observation, then you have to mark the stations, and then baseline has to be drawn. Is it clear? Then we have to fix the ranging rod on the station, then chaining can start, and if the ranging is required, you can do the ranging also and measure the change and offset and record them, right? And if there is any kind of changes you are able to visualize, you have to record them in a plain sheet or the whatever be the survey sheet that you are using. So these are the simple procedures related to the chain survey, right? And if you are conducting these things, so you are able to make this kind of map or plan, right? Is it clear? So these are the simple procedure of chain survey, right? So now if you have any question from anyone, you people can ask.